Welcome, 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 everybody, to yet another AMA. How are you doing, Mark T?
Okay, nice. Doing awesome, guys. Doing awesome. Back in a place with great Wi Fi again. For those tuning in last week, know that my Wi Fi was pretty shit. We had to do it without a camera. But luckily today, guys, I'm back here with the camera. And of course, we have another nice EMA with some cool updates, with some interesting developments that we're going to share with you guys here again. Welcome everyone back to the Vertical Weekly EMA, the place where we take you through the latest updates, and also the place where you can ask questions directly to the team, which we highly encourage to do because we always enjoy answering the questions at the last part of these EMAs, and we greatly encourage taking the opportunity to do so. So, guys, I think that the first thing we should be starting off with is with a recent partnership that we have announced on our socials. I think it was yesterday, and that is a partnership with Modular Network. So, for the people that don't know what Modular is, Modular is actually a network where they want to bring robots onto a blockchain so that anyone from any location can access those robotics and potentially test their system in those robotics. A sort of peer-to-peer network where robotics from a university in this location can be accessed by a student in a university on another location. And that is pretty interesting, right? Because robotics, as you guys know, is becoming an interesting branch in the whole startup world. We see obviously Tesla making or Elon Musk making their own robots. We also see other companies that really are creating some interesting living machines. And to make those machines even more custom, obviously these machines run on AI. And that is exactly where the crossover starts with modular and vertical. Because obviously, when you want to use those machines on their network, those robots, you want to have the ability to, you know, uh, create your own AI model that you can deploy in those robots. Now, luckily, here at Vertical, we have developed those exact tools for people to build their own data sets. And with those data sets, they can train their own models. And while they still need to develop their first initial version of the network, I've seen some sneak peeks. It's nice, it's cool, and we think that there's an interesting crossover capabilities. So essentially, Modular is gonna be promoting Vertical on their platform as the platform for their users to customize their own AI models, which they can then afterwards use to deploy in the robots on their network. And same goes for us. For us, it's very interesting for our users that if they want to see how their AI model responds when they get deployed in a robot, obviously we will guide them to the modular network as well. So, very soon, when they are a bit further in the developing process, and the same for us, of course, we can show you guys a demo very soon, hopefully. Super interesting, guys. This is really the bringing your AI model to life type of partnership. I've been involved with the modular team for quite some time. I know the founder personally. I've gave him advice as well before they launched their token. So yeah, I like to see other projects building in the space as well, adding value and doing honest things. And obviously, at Vertical, we support those types of projects and we like to collaborate and partner with those types of projects.
Yeah.
So, great stuff. Awesome partnership that I really look forward on seeing what we can, create together, what type of use cases become possible together. And yeah, exciting stuff. So, kudos to their team and looking forward to
Super
that.
cool. I think
Well,
it's nice, right? Because as you guys know, this is one of the perfect examples of how vertical AI is integrated in different industries, right? Or super specific AI, what we're building out, what we're of course bringing to everybody, and this is a really nice tangible example of a vertical AI. So super excited to expand into different industries.
yeah. So in a sense, modular is going to become, an external integration partner for the models you create. Like you said, it's a perfect example of something that is actually possible with your own custom model. Just like our partnership with Fetch AI that we have announced, where you are able to integrate your vertical model into their agents on chain. And the same goes, of course, for Skynet, that has an autonomous agent builder as well, where our APIs will also be working. So, guys, talking about technicalities of the platform, we have been, discussing extremely in depth with the tech team what our priorities are going to be for the next couple of months. Because, as you guys know, we are nearly finalizing stage two, which we are coming very close to doing, and we are entering almost into phase three. And obviously, at every finishing of every stage, we have to evaluate the roadmap again. And because we are smarter, we have more insight, we have more data, we have more users that we've listened to, always those roadmaps become way more enriched down the line. And obviously, we look into the future as well because new possibilities have arisen. And for that reason, guys, we are actually creating an updated roadmap further in the future in way more detail, where you guys can read exactly what you can expect from the vertical team in the coming 3 to 6 months at least, and showing that we are not stopping, not slowing down a bit. And what we are going to be showing you guys in this updated roadmap is guaranteed going to excite you a lot, because the technologies that we have built already and that we are going to integrate are truly groundbreaking, especially knowing that the fine tuning methods that we have already built, that is already live in the studio, have been valued as $1 billion technology by other VCs in other countries. This is super exciting, guys. And to be honest, we are already a step ahead, because not only do we have LoRa adapter fine tuning available in the studio, we are currently working hard to bring knowledge graph technology to life in the studio for you guys as well. And an interesting thing of this is why knowledge graph is actually so important for the studio, in our opinion, but also for our users, is because fine tuning is great. It really gives the ability to a user to really make their own model based on their data, but it's super niche still. And we found out during our process that a lot of users want to build specific use cases where they are able to talk and index their documents and add those documents as a knowledge into their models in such a way that it doesn't become limiting, the more information they put in. And this is something that we compete with, and that's called RAG. RAG is a very, a well-known system that a lot of data scientists use to, add knowledge to AI models. But in our opinion, RAG is actually, you know, uh, let's reframe that. Knowledge graph technology is actually superior to RAG, where RAG actually becomes slower and less accurate the more information you put into it. It has to handle way more context because you are adding the context of those documents in the context window while you're sending it to the model. And the model is just not able to handle that much context eventually. While knowledge graph technology is actually able to index those types of information into a very much more structured way, so that the reasoning can actually happen within the knowledge graph before it gets analyzed by the model. And I don't want to go into too much technicalities over here. All that I can say is that this knowledge graph technology that we are going to provide for you guys in the studio is going to give you the ability to let your model's knowledge base grow and scale with you infinitely over time. That means the more information you put in it on a certain subject or domain, the better it's going to perform. And that is actually the main reason why it is superior to RAG, in our opinion. And to highlight this a little bit more, to give this a little bit more visual context, we have actually done research on this, of course, internally. And I want to share just some graphs that we've made in the research that is still ongoing. This research that we're doing right now is going to be part of our docs, is going to be published. We really see that now is the time to write about these differentiations that we are putting out in the studio for you guys, and also, do benchmarking of our performance in the studio to really show you guys that what we are building is competitive with what's out there in the market. All right, so what I'll do here, I'll share my screen. Mm, let's see. It's over here. Yes. Okay. Hidde, can you see my screen?
Yes, give me 2 seconds. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So essentially, we're writing these research papers, or I'm not going to call it full-blown research papers, but let's say just, our own thoughts and research into why we are doing what we're doing. As you can clearly see, is that if you look at the comparison to RAG and knowledge graph here, is that, if you go into an analogy, a RAG, giving the model a sort of a library excerpt. And while knowledge graph gives the model a database with facts and creates the relationship between those facts. And RAG primary function is mainly context recalling, right? You can get the context out of somewhere and you can give it with the model, so it is parsed with your prompt essentially. While knowledge graph enhances logical reasoning. And this is, I think, in my opinion, the most important part, because in a RAG, the dependency on the model itself is extremely high. The reasoning has to happen inside the LLM. And why this is so important is that, the more reasoning you expect from the LLM, the more powerful it needs to be to do an accurate answer, but also the more compute it costs. So by providing you guys with knowledge graph technology, the reasoning actually happens outside already within the graph logic, and this actually decreases the compute cost for for the model to use that knowledge in there. And well, this is just an example task, right? RAG is nice for summarizing the latest HR policy updates, while Knowledge Graph actually gives you the ability to find all employees who've managed a department that reported to a specific person. And that is super specific. I just want to make clear that the Knowledge Graph technology that we're providing for you guys, how powerful it actually is. And here we actually have another glance of the total analysis that we did. And this is all the different type of ways on how you can customize AI. And as you guys know, we are really focused on three types of methods over here. So obviously, we're going to provide you guys with fine tuning. As you can clearly see here, it can adjust models' behavior, which can adjust the tone, the formats of the text, the heuristics, and create way more consistency in the output than if you would just integrate a general model. Obviously, you need some data for this. Because we use LoRa fine tuning, with us you only need a few quality examples, and we have the dataset agent to create that for you. And usually it requires a lot of effort, and it's very expensive. And this is the groundbreaking part of our studio as well. We have decreased the effort for fine tuning dramatically by building it in a no-code manner, When we were in Singapore and we were demoing our studio to people that had understanding of this technology, we received responses of multiple people that the flow that we created in the studio was actually the easiest and most understandable flow they've seen so far. And because we use decentralized compute, the cost actually is way lower than general. But there is a problem with fine tuning, and that is that fine tuning is very static. So you train it, you get improvements, but it doesn't improve with you over time. You have to keep training it, and that can be, a lot of effort and can be expensive. But the hallucination after fine tuning is extremely low, specifically on the task that you've learned them. And this reason is why we want to integrate knowledge graph as well. Because by integrating knowledge graph, we have actually, this is also a knowledge graph system setting up in our studio is not going to be hard and it's not going to be expensive. That is the groundbreaking thing, guys. Usually these things need a lot of effort and are expensive. With us, they're cheaper and are accessible for everyone. That's why vertical is so crazy powerful and it's going to be a game changer in AI customization. But that is the beautiful thing. The freshness is very, medium. You can keep adding, as long as you keep adding new data into it, you keep making the output of the model fresher and better over time. And that is actually a great combination, especially with system prompting. I know here it says RAG, but we are convinced that we don't need RAG. But what we are doing here is we are going to do the combination of system prompting, fine tuning, and adding a knowledge graph. And this way, you're getting the best of all, and that is actually super powerful. So I wanted to give this a little bit in a visual way. I hope you guys have some questions. We can answer them. And I hope this made it a little bit more understanding. Perfect. Let's see. Am I still sharing? Remove that. All right. So, guys, that is one thing. I wanted to really highlight what knowledge graph was because we're building that right now. It's going to be part of the V1.5 of the studio, and this is going to be live before the end of the year. Something that we are now very hard working together with Braden Levanchi, the founder and CEO of Levanchi Lab, the AI research company that we acquired an equity stake in to get access to this groundbreaking technology. All right, so guys, a couple things that I want to mention here as well because don't want to take up too much time for you guys. I just want to mention here that on Saturday I'll be flying to Dubai and I'll be meeting there with some very influential people. Some influential people that can really benefit the project and the company vertical on a lot of sides. And I'm super excited. I'm not going to spoil too much, but next EMA, I'm going to give you guys a little glimpse of what was discussed there. But I'm flying over to Dubai and meeting up with some awesome people. And last, and maybe Hidde, you want to give some updates on the marketing. I know that you've been working very hard on, setting up the TikTok and other social media channels so we can prepare for one of the biggest marketing campaigns for our company and every part that includes that.
Yeah, indeed. So we're going to do a massive marketing push in the near future, really related around channels that we haven't really accessed before, right? And we're talking about TikTok, we're talking about Instagram, and these channels both have, a whole different target audience that we haven't targeted before. So this is a whole stream of new users, of new people that hear about vertical and that are potential customers. So this is going to be a Web 2, Web 3 marketing push. So from all sides, it's going to be really big. And in order to prepare for that, we're really starting to create some high quality content for both platforms. And this is just to show, our authenticity in the space, in the AI space, and to really, if people come on our platform, they see us, they learn about us, they learn about what we do. And they I think they're really nice videos, they're really fun. So guys, if you guys, you can really help out here by following us on TikTok, following us on Instagram. This is all good for the algorithm. We want to make ourselves known to everybody in these two channels. So super excited. Once that is all set up and we're happy with it, then we will move over to start pushing this marketing campaign. So
Yeah, and it's gonna be super powerful, right, guys? Obviously, Twitter is the main platform for crypto-related promotions, but we've noticed that you don't only have crypto Twitter anymore. It's also crypto TikTok and crypto Instagram, and there's a lot of communities and a lot of people on there that are definitely not on Twitter. Even stronger, a lot of people are not even on Twitter. It's mostly right the older generation. So with this, we're going to reach a completely different audience. I think this is super strategic, not only for our web 2 sites but also for our web 3 sites that obviously are interconnected together, which makes us web 2.5. Anyway, I think, guys, that was a little bit it for this week's their updates. We're cooking hard behind the scenes, and I'm super excited to release the knowledge graph, the updated version of the studio, because we are really going into acceleration. The meetings that we've had with the tech team that has over 10 people in it have been extraordinary. A lot of good ideas came out of it and a very clear direction that we are going to be projecting also in our roadmap that we're going to be releasing very soon. But without further ado, guys, without stalling you even longer here, I think, Hidde, we should move to the questions of the community. And I really hope there are some, because yeah, the knowledge graph technology might create some questions.
So we have, let me see, we have a question coming in through our community. Let me just pop it up on screen. And this came from our community. Can you tell us something about the affiliate program you have been working on? We've mentioned this a little bit before, right, Mark, and then in previous AMAs that this is something we're working on, which is coming.
Yeah,
So super excited about this, right?
extremely excited. We think this is one of the most powerful utilities in our line of utilities for the token. We haven't seen this actually anywhere else. This is a super creative approach where we can still provide a revenue share to people from our community by involving them into a referral revenue share program. So essentially, what that means is that just like any referral affiliate program, you will get a code or a link, and anyone that signs up through that link or code, you will be getting well, depending on the tier that you've staked in, you will be getting a portion of the revenue that comes from that for a prolonged period of time. And it's unfortunate that Frizo is not here, but I think it is up until 2 years. Anyway, let's. I'm not gonna promise anything here, but this is the beautiful thing about it. To I think that anyone can participate in the affiliate program and can earn up to 5% on the revenue. But the moment that you start staking vertical, you actually can get into higher tiers. So we have these tiers, right? We have bronze, gold, diamonds, and platinum. And based on the amount of vertical that you stake, the more revenue share percentage you're going to get. And it's going to go all the way up until 20% if you stake in the highest tier of vertical amount. And that is super powerful because this incentivizes people to get the token, to stake that token, to increase the fully diluted value, strengthening our token economy even further. And this is the thing, right? They need to keep staking those VertAI to keep earning the revenue share from their affiliates that they brought in through their promotion. Because if they don't, well, you can guess what happens then. So it's a very strong utility. We think we can have a massive increase in conversion, also a massive increase in demand to our token. I think this is one of the best examples how we are connecting, the Web2 strategies with Web3 elements. The power of having a token in there. And yeah, super excited. We're currently working on this with our blockchain developer because obviously this has to be secure. And we're doing this with Solidproof, our trusted partner that has built all our blockchain integrations. So yeah, looking forward to utilizing this because obviously when we have the studio live, when we are going to be going from a freebie to a paid a model, we need this affiliate program live because that conversion is gonna trickle back also into VertiI, of course, when they use VertiI as payments. So yeah, great question,
Yeah.
and awesome that you actually are aware of it because I don't think a lot of people are aware of
If you
those
want to
details.
read more about it, if you want to read more about it, you can have a look at our white paper as well. I think in our docs. So and it says everything about this utility. But maybe to put it into perspective a little bit, if imagine we go live with the studio, you bring in a company that spends around 2K per month on a monthly basis. That means that $400 of those 2K go to you.
Yeah,
So this can add up really quickly.
yeah, and this is this is a way of us also sharing with the community,
Yeah, yeah,
right? Our loyal token participants in our token economy have the ability to actually also earn a portion of the rev share if they participate in the affiliate program. It's awesome. It's awesome. I really love this one.
yeah.
So yeah, let's launch it soon. Woo. Let's see. Any other questions?
Not right now. I think what is really nice, what we just got in from the team, is that we have right now over 200 models trained in our studio. Within like, when did we launch in March? And people have been using this, right? And users have been coming back to reuse the studio to build different models, trying different things. So it's super cool to see the activity right there.
Yeah, buzzing,
Big,
buzzing, buzzing, and
big
also
model.
seeing, yeah, guys, the models that being trained on the platform, they are steadily growing. I mean, we have over 100 models already trained on the platform, like we announced last week. I'm not aware of the current statistics, but probably it's double right now. But obviously, these statistics will be shared with you guys when we hit certain milestones, because that's what we like to do, right, guys? We like to show you guys the progress that we're making, showing that we're actually, taking the steps to increase those statistics and actually deliver on what we promise. So yeah, super excited to share the new roadmap. Well, Hidde, if there aren't any, um, if there aren't any more questions left, we can wrap it up. I
Yeah.
think next week is going to be very interesting as well. Guys, we have so much coming for you. You have no idea. I know that the market has been a little bit rough lately. Obviously, this is also something that affects us. But we've clearly shown that we're here to build, and we've been through this before. Vertical is gonna do what vertical does, and no matter what the market conditions are, we keep building, we keep delivering, and obviously we are preparing for when the market, flips, uh, turns good again. So stick with us, guys. Much appreciate everyone in the community that stays loyal, that keeps showing up every day, especially in these, let's say, rougher market times. And those are the real G's. And obviously, keep asking those questions in the group. We are always there to answer them. Keep following us on all the socials. And for the rest, I think this is Hidde and Mark tuning out for this EMA. Thank
See.
you, everyone.
Bye bye.